So good morning everybody, and we begin with the second lecture on the topic called as reading of ledger accounts. In the first lecture, we have discussed the background material for reading of ledger accounts, what the topic is all about, and we also discussed one practical question as to how do we actually visualize and analyze the transactions or understand the interpretation of the transactions in a particular account. And we did one account that was related to capital of a proprietor. So in today's session, we'll try to cover few more ledger accounts of similar type. This is the account what we discussed last time. Am I correct? Capital account of Vijay. Yes, this was the one which we discussed last time. Okay. Now we start with one more account in the books of Vijay only. And this time the account is titled as Ajay's account. Okay. The account is given in the books of Vijay only. Okay. In books of Vijay only, we have an account and the party name is Ajay's account. So firstly, the classification of account. It says it's Ajay's account. So what is the most likely classification of this account? What will be the classification of this type of account? Personal, real, nominal, what kind of classification shall we make? Yes, anybody?
Personal account.
It will be a personal account. Yeah, Ajay is a person, so personal account. Now the next task will be to find out what is the nature of transactions in this. Before we actually start analyzing the transactions, commenting on the transactions, let us understand the nature of transaction. If you see the ledger account, it gives you opening balance on 1st April, and then there are 2 or 3 entries related to sales. It says on 31st July, sales invoice number 317, then same thing on 31st August, invoice number 767, and so on. And on the credit side, you have entries like amount received against invoice or bills receivable accepted against a particular sales invoice, and so on. Okay, these are the entries. So what is the possible nature of this person? Yes, it's a personal account, but again, going in more details, what could be the nature of this person with whom we are dealing with, or whose account is given to you?
Debtor.
Yes, absolutely right. We are looking at the account of a customer or account of a sundry debtor. Ajay is our customer. If you see the entries, we have sold the goods to Ajay, and time to time the payment is received from Ajay. So it's a personal account. The financial year for which the account is given is 1920, 2019-2020. And now one by one we'll try to analyze and interpret the transaction. 1st April, to balance brought down 1,38,000. It means that last year's outstanding with Ajay was 1,38,000, and that debit balance is carried forward. Now, as we move on, we are going to go in a chronological or date-wise order. So, date-wise order, if you see, the next entry is on 14th April. It says by HDFC Bank, check number 122 drawn on Indian Bank. This is the amount received from Ajay, because we have passed the entry HDFC Bank account debit to Ajay's account. The amount was received by way of a check. Ajay gave you a check. The check number was 122 and it was drawn on Indian Bank. So Ajay is holding an account with Indian Bank and he has given a check on Indian Bank where the check number is 122 and the amount is 1,38,000 rupees. If you see our opening balance was also 1,38,000. That means he has fully settled the opening balance due on 1st of April when the payment came on 14th of April 2019. Are you clear about first 2 transactions? Yes. Have you understood the first 2 transactions?
No, sir. Can you repeat once again?
See, we have opening balance on 1st April, 1,38,000. That is the balance carried forward from last year. Can you see that entry? What's your good name? Someone who asked the doubt?
Yes. Ajay account debit to capital account.
No, where is the question of capital account? There is an opening balance carried forward from last year. We are not looking at capital account now. It's the opening balance on 1st April. Okay, 1,38,000. This is a debtors account, customer account. So last year he had some unpaid dues to you. So those are carried forward, and which he has eventually paid on 14th April. How did he pay? He paid by check. That check was deposited by you in HDFC account. You are having an account with HDFC. So you pass the entry HDFC bank account debit to Ajay's account 1,38,000 on 14th April. What is the description of this check? The check number is 122 and it is drawn on Indian Bank. Ajay gave you a check on Indian Bank, and with this amount the opening balance was completely settled. There was nothing left out of opening balance. Am I clear about your doubt now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what's your good name?
Lakshmi Kori.
Sorry, Lakshmi.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm clear now, Lakshmi, with the transaction. Can we proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. Now the next transaction is on 31st of July. It says two sales, invoice number 317, and the value posted in Ajay's account on debit side is 350,000, 3,50,000. Now my question to you is, this is a sale entry. Is it a cash sale or credit sale?
Credit
Yes,
sale.
it's a credit
Credit
sale.
sale.
Yes, absolutely right.
Credit sale.
Cash, yes, correct. Cash sale is never reflected in customer account. It is only credit sale which is reflected in customer account, and we pass the entry customer account debit to sales account. So here on 31st July, you have passed the entry Ajay's account debit 3,50,000 to sales account. The invoice by which the sale is recorded, under which the sale is recorded, is invoice number 317. Okay. Then moving further, on 13th of August, you received one more payment from Ajay. The check number is 136, amount is 3,50,000, and the check was on Indian Bank as a payment against invoice number 317. So whatever goods were sold to him on 31st July under invoice number 317, valued at 3.5 lakhs, full amount is paid by him immediately on 13th of August. Okay, so we have recorded that entry HDFC bank account debit to Ajay's account for a receipt of 3.5 lakhs. As we move further, we have one more sale, and that is on 31st of August. The entry says Ajay's account debit to sales, invoice number 767, 5 lakhs rupees. So one more credit sale has happened on 31st of August. Against the same sale, there is a corresponding entry on 31st August. It says buy bills receivable against invoice number 767, exactly the same amount of invoice, 5 lakhs rupees. What would be the interpretation of this transaction on the credit side, 31st August? What does it mean? What has happened on 31st August? Can someone tell me? The entry on 31st August is buy bills receivable 5 lakhs against invoice number 767. So what is the meaning of this entry? What is the interpretation of this entry?
Bill was
Credit
drawn.
sale.
Yes, bill was drawn. On whom the bill was drawn?
Bill drawn.
Ajay's account.
On in whose name the bill was drawn? Who has accepted the bill? Ajay
Ajay.
has accepted.
Ajay?
Yes. Ajay is a customer, and you have drawn a bill of exchange on Ajay. Okay. So the bill value is 5 lakhs, and this BR, bills receivable, was accepted by him on the same day as date of sale, and this was against invoice number 767. So we have passed the entry BR account debit to Ajay's account 5 lakhs rupees. Till now, everybody is clear on what we have done? Yes, till
sir.
now the entries are clear. Okay.
Yes.
Now 12th December, there is next sale valued at 4.5 lakhs, again a credit sale by way of invoice number 937. So usual credit sale like earlier one, invoice number is 937, value of goods sold is 4.5 lakhs. Now on 15th December, you have received a check from Ajay as a part payment of this invoice number 937. Why are we saying part payment? Because the invoice is 4.5 lakhs, payment received is only 2 lakhs rupees. So it is only a part payment. How did we receive the payment? Check number 266 drawn on Indian Bank and which is deposited in HDFC Bank. So we have passed the entry HDFC Bank account debit to Ajay's account 2 lakhs rupees. Now for a change, on 16th December, you find one more entry on the debit side which says to HDFC Bank, check number 266 drawn on Indian Bank against invoice number 937 is returned by the bank. What this could be? What could be this transaction that we are recording on 16th of December on debit side? Yes, what could be this nature of transaction? What has happened
Dishonor
on 16th
of-
December? Absolutely right. The check was dishonored. See, when you receive a check from the customer, you deposit in your bank account. The bank will send a check for collection. Only when Indian Bank approves the payment or realization, the money will be credited to your account in HDFC Bank account. So Indian Bank has refused to honor that check and has not released the money against this check. We call it as dishonor or bouncing of check. So this check has bounced for whatever reason. There could be technical reasons. There may not be balance in Ajay's account. Several reasons are possible. For whatever reasons which we do not know, the check has bounced. So on 15 December, you received and deposited the check. So you made the entry. But on 16 December, your bank, HDFC Bank, informed you that the check has bounced. So you have reversed the entry. Your original entry was HDFC Bank account debit to Ajay's account. So now you have passed the entry Ajay's account debit to HDFC Bank 2 lakhs rupees on 16th of December because the check was bounced. And then subsequently what happened? Since the check was bounced, Ajay gave you another check. So he gave you another check. This check was possibly cancelled and you got another check, check number 269, which was drawn on Indian Bank against invoice number 937. So he gave you a fresh check which you have deposited on 18th of December for 2 lakhs rupees. And then there were no further transactions. But on 31st March, you still have balance due from Ajay, which is 2.5 lakhs. If you see the keep a track of transactions, you will realize that invoice number 937 dated 12th December, 4.5 lakhs. Only part payment was received. That was 2 lakhs rupees, where the check bounced and again you got a new check, so you received that money. That was 2 lakhs rupees. But still, you have another 2.5 lakhs outstanding against that invoice, which is carried forward to the next year. So on 31st March 2020, your ledger shows a balancing figure on the credit side, and that balance will be carried forward to the next year on 1st of April 2020, which represents the amount due from Ajay, one of your customers. Is Ajay's account clear to everyone? The nature
Yes,
of
sir.
entries in customer's account. Anybody else who has any doubts, clarity required on any of the transactions? Everybody has followed. Shall we proceed with the next ledger? Yes, can I proceed with the next ledger?
Bill
Yes,
drawn
sure,
again.
sir.
Invoice number 57.
Sorry, I didn't get your doubt. Can you repeat?
That is bill drawn on invoice number 757. We
Ah.
have payment.
But that payment entry will not come here. No? That will come in bills receivable account. When you receive the payment against a BR, I'm sorry, you pass the entry bank account debit to BR account. So that will not affect your Ajay's account. If the bill is dishonored, it will affect Ajay's account. Okay. But if the bill is honored on that day and you will receive the money, the entry will be bank account debit to BR account. It won't come in Ajay's account. Am I clear to you?
Yes.
Okay. So with that, we proceed with the next account. Next is Sanjay's account. We continue with the books of same gentleman, that is Vijay. All the ledgers are in his books only. We have Sanjay's account. Now just have a look at the transaction reflected in Sanjay's account, and now you have to tell me the classification and nature of dealing with this party. Look at the transactions and tell me.
Sundry creditors.
Yes, it's a supplier account. It's a creditor account from whom you are purchasing some goods or materials. That is the nature of dealings with Sanjay. So on 1/4/2019, we are looking at financial year 1920. Your opening credit balance is 4,78,000. That means you have purchased some material etc. in last year, but you did not pay. Vijay did not pay. So Vijay is yet to pay that balance, which is carried forward on 1st of April. And if you see the sequence of transactions, 30th June, you have already paid that amount. How did you pay that amount? You issued a check on HDFC Bank. Check number is 455,678. So the entry was passed as Sanjay's account debit to HDFC Bank in full settlement of this payment of opening balance, that is 4,78,000 rupees. As we go in sequence of transactions, 15th July, there is a first purchase of this year. Again, it will be a credit purchase because you have passed the entry purchase account debit to Sanjay's account, and the invoice which came from Sanjay is numbered as 334. So Sanjay has sold you some goods, you have purchased the goods from him, and you have passed the entry purchase account debit to Sanjay's account 6,55,000 on 15th of July. Then against this invoice number 334, you made a payment on 31st of July. But if you see the amount paid, it comes to 6,38,625. Your bill amount is 6,55,000 if you see on the credit side. But actual payment against invoice number 334 is made as 6,38,625 by passing the entry Sanjay's account debit to bank account. And on the same day, you have one more entry to discount received, and the amount is 16,375. The narration into bracket says received against invoice number 334. Now, can you link these two entries and explain what exactly must have happened?
Discount received.
Yes, you have made a payment to that party and the party gave you a discount. Okay, the discount amounted to 16,375. Can you tell me the percentage of discount? Can you calculate and tell me what is the percentage at which you have received the discount? Sanjay has given you some discount. So what is the percentage of this discount? Calculate and tell me. Yes. What is the percentage of discount that you received? How much is the amount of discount?
2.5%.
2.5%, correct. How did you calculate the percentage? 16,375 is the amount of
2.56%.
2.56%. How do you calculate 2.56%? Sorry. See, your discount is calculated as a percentage of your invoice price, not the amount received. That 2.56 you must have got. Possibly you have calculated on 6,38,625. Is that right? That's how you calculated 2.56%.
Yes, sir.
It will be 16,375 divided by invoice value, which is 6,55,000. That was the total amount payable into 100. So if you calculate it that way, 16,375 divided by 6,55,000, and if you calculate this, it will come to 2.5%. So the percentage of discount was 2.5%. Okay, have you understood the calculation now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then the next transaction happens on 30th September. Purchase, invoice number 678. So we have passed the entry purchase account debit to Sanjay's account on 30th September, 5,67,000 rupees. Now against this invoice of 5,67,000, the payment is made in December. And on 12th December, you find an entry to HDFC Bank RTGS against invoice number 6,78,000. So online payment, RTGS based payment was made to the extent of 5 lakhs. It is a part payment. You are not made a full payment because full invoice value is 5,67,000. Whereas the part payment made by you is only 5 lakh rupees. So that part payment you have passed the entry, which is RTGS. The amount is 5 lakhs. Entry is Sanjay's account debit to HDFC Bank 5 lakh rupees. Going further, you have one more purchase on 15th Jan. The invoice number is 989 and the credit purchase is recorded for 9,12,000 by passing the entry purchase account debit to Sanjay's account. And on the same day, 15th January 2020, you will find entry as two bills payable against invoice number 989. What does this transaction mean? What is the nature of this transaction? On the debit side, 15 Jan 9,12,000. What is the interpretation? Sanjay has drawn a bill on you, right? Sanjay has drawn a bill on Vijay. Vijay has accepted that bill. We are looking at books of Vijay. So Vijay has accepted that bill which was drawn by Sanjay, and we have passed the entry Sanjay's account debit to bills payable account 9,12,000 rupees. That was on 15th of Jan when you accepted the bill. And then finally on 31st March, you have closed the account and you realize that there is still balance payable of 67,000. This is still amount payable to Sanjay on 31st March 2020. So that will be carried forward to the next year as the opening balance. Can you tell me against which invoice this 67,000 must be payable? Looking at the details.
Invoice number 678.
Correct. Invoice number 678, we paid only 5 lakhs. Remaining 67,000 is still outstanding because for subsequent invoice you have accepted a bill of exchange. You have accepted a bills payable. So that is not outstanding. But 30th September, what you purchased, some balance is still outstanding, and that is 67,000 rupees, which is carried forward to the next year. Any difficulty in the creditor's account now? This was a credit account, Sanjay's account. Yes.
So I have a doubt.
Bolo.
Like how we come to know ki when the bill is become less or when we have to pay. Like in the previous sum on 31st July we had a discount which was given to us. So
Correct.
we had to not so we had got the amount back into account. But here
Correct.
on the last payment that is bills payable on 12 December,
5 lakhs.
how we come to know it is part payment or what? Will it be
See the
mentioned
narration.
there? It is
Yes.
part payment.
Yes. It will mention as part
Okay, sir.
payment.
Okay.
So it's full payment 5 lakhs. Then you have a reason to believe that remaining 67,000 should be taken at discount. Am I right?
Okay.
But it doesn't
Okay,
say,
sir.
it says part payment. That means you are not made the full payment. Okay, so if full payment is not made, the remaining amount will still remain outstanding. If you say full payment is made, but 5 lakhs payment, that means that balance payable 67,000 is no more payable. It becomes a discount receipt. Right?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Hello,
So
sir.
any other
If there is,
bolo?
if it is full settlement of that invoice number 678,
Then it will be
then
67,000 of discount received. that you will have to pass the entry for that.
Okay,
And if
sir.
it is not passed, then that account will require a rectification. Then that means that entry is missing. Okay, that entry is yet to be passed. But here it is part payment, so that means we have to show that amount still as payable to him. Fine, clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now we go to the next ledger. Now we have a ledger of insurance premium. Okay. Insurance premium, what is the category of this account?
Nominal account.
It's a nominal account. It's an expenditure account. Insurance premium is a expenditure account or a nominal account. Now, being a nominal account, it has again typical features. You will incur the expenditure, and end of the year that expenditure will be transferred to the P&L account, and next year you won't have any opening balance in the expenditure account or nominal account. That's a typical feature of this. Nominal order is on 1st August 2019. It says to HDFC Bank, NEFT, the purpose is fire insurance policy for stock for the year ending on 31st July 2020, and the amount paid is 24,000. That means you have taken an insurance policy. The purpose of policy that it's a fire insurance policy for stock, and the validity of policy is 1 year. You have taken the policy and made the payment on 1st August 2019, and the policy expires on 31st of July 2020. 24,000 is the. You obtain one more policy that was on 1st November 2009. Payment made is 48,000. This is a different policy. It is taken for machinery, and the validity of the policy is till 31st October 2020. Now, if you clearly see the dates and the period, we are looking at the accounts or ledger for 1920. Financial year is 1920. Whereas both the policies, if you see the expiry dates, one is 31st July 2020, second one is 31st October 2020. Are these dates going beyond our end of the year, that is 31st March 20? Yes?
Yes.
Yes. So if this is the case, that you have paid the premium which covers the period even in the subsequent financial year, then what we normally do in such cases? In such a case, what is the normal accounting practice?
Less from the.
Yes. If you recall what you used to do in P&L account, we used to reduce it from insurance and we used to show it in the balance sheet as prepaid insurance. Do you recall that adjustment? Yes. Are you able to recall that adjustment now?
Yes.
Now, what exactly you used to do is to pass an entry actually. And the entry is prepaid insurance account debit to insurance premium account. That's how the entry was passed. So on the credit side, you will find that on 31st March 2020, you have passed two entries for that. And the entry is prepaid insurance premium account debit to insurance premium account. And the narration says first entry is for 8,000 for stock for a period of 4 months, and second one is for machinery, which is for a period of 7 months. Now, where these numbers came from, 4 months and 7 months and the corresponding amounts, how these would have been derived, these numbers and the number of months, 8,000 4 months, 28,000 7 months, how is the calculation made? Where does it come from? Anybody? Look at the dates, look at the amount and tell me.
Total amount divided by 4 months.
Total amount divided by 4 months. Total amount is how much?
24,000.
So divided by 4 months, as you are saying, how much do you get? Yes, anybody?
6,000.
But where is 6,000? You are not passed any entry for 6,000. The entries are for 8,000 and 28,000. It says for 7 months and 4 months. So where do we get these numbers from? Anybody? Okay. Now take the example of first policy. First policy is taken on 1st August 2019 and it ends on 31st July 2020. Can you tell me the number of months which are falling in next financial year? How many months will fall in the next financial year? Yes, current financial year is 1920. How many months in this policy will fall in next year?
Four.
4 months, right? Because your policy is expiring on 31st July 2020. You are closing the year on 31st March 2020. So count from April. April, May, June and July. Policy expires on 31st July. So 4 months are going in next year, correct? So out of 12 months or a year, 8 months in current year, 4 months in next year for first policy. So 24,000 divided by 12, you get a monthly premium of 2,000. So for 4 months, which will go in next year, your prepaid insurance will be 8,000. Is the calculation and number of months clear to you now? Yes or no?
Yes.
So please can you repeat once again?
Yes, sir.
See,
Yes, sir.
you paid 24,000 on 1st August 2019. But the policy is for 1 year and it will expire on 31st July 2020. What is your year end? Who was asking doubt? Unmute yourself and tell me what is the year end.
Year ending is 31st March 2020.
2020, correct. Now we have to count the number of months which will go after 31st March 20 because those are in next financial year up to 31st July. So which are the months which will go in next financial year till 31st July? Tell me the months.
April, May, June, July, 4 months.
4 months. So what we have done
Okay.
is prepaid insurance we have calculated for a period of 4 months. Simple. Did you follow it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's your name?
Emilia.
Okay. It's clear? Absolutely clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. So we have calculated premium of 8,000 as prepaid, which will go in the next year. For second policy, if you see April 2020 onwards, October 2020, 31st October 2020, it's a period of 7 months. So for 7 months, we have to carry forward the premium. 48,000 is yearly premium, so monthly premium is 4,000. So 4,000 into 7, 28,000 is what we have to carry forward to the next year. So has everyone followed that 8,000 and 28,000 entry by prepaid insurance? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Now when you pass the entry, we have one more account to look at and that is prepaid insurance account. So I'll show you prepaid insurance account also. It's a linked account. So in prepaid insurance account, you will find the entry on 31st March to insurance premium account. This is for stock 8,000 we debited here and this is for machinery we debited 28,000. The second effect of what entry you have passed. Now prepaid insurance account is a real account. Okay. So this balance will be carried forward to the next year. So on 31st March 2020, you will carry forward this balance to the next year, 36,000, and on 1/4/20 it will appear as an opening balance for the next year because prepaid insurance is not an expenditure account. It's an advance payment. So it's a sort of a real account. So that balance gets carried forward to next year. Have you understood effects of prepaid insurance account? This is what you show in balance sheet, 36,000. Whenever you show in the balance sheet, this appears in the balance sheet and then it is carried forward to the next year. Have you understood the mechanism?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's go back
Yes,
to
sir.
let's go back to insurance account. We have understood these entries. We have made payment. We have understood these entries which were for transfer of prepaid. I'm sorry. Now we are at the year end, so we have to balance the account. And when you balance a nominal account, the balancing figure goes to profit and loss account. So 36,000 rupees is a balancing figure We have passed the entry profit and loss account debit to insurance premium account. So 36,000 is finally transferred to insurance premium as an expenditure for the year. Have you understood these entries? Yes?
Yes, sir.
First year entries are clear. Now I'm going to take one more year for this account and we are going to see what happens in the next year. Now let us come to prepaid insurance. In prepaid insurance, second year if you see, we have carried forward this amount last year. We closed the account and we carry forward this amount. Now in second year what happens? These 4 months stock related insurance 8,000 and 7 months machinery related insurance which is 28,000 is for current financial year which is 2021. So we should transfer that to expenditure account. So how do we do that? On 1st April, we reverse the entry passed in the last year. You can see here entry passed in the last year on 31st March. This was to recognize prepaid portion. Now at the beginning of next year, you are supposed to reverse these entries and transfer this money to insurance account because this will become expenditure for 2021. So we pass the entry insurance premium account debit to prepaid insurance account 8,000 and 28,000. Have you understood the reversal of this entry? Yes? Did you follow the reversal of these two entries? So if you see insurance account now, okay, you will have these two entries debited here. This is your insurance account for 2021 in continuation. Insurance premium account in continuation 2021. So you can see 1/4/2020 the reversal of those two entries. Two prepaid insurance 8,000 stock and two prepaid insurance machinery 28,000. Both are reversed and debited over here. Have you understood these two entries? Yes. Okay. Now going further, you have two more entries in insurance account. One is on 1st August. It says 1st August to HDFC Bank NEFT fire insurance policy for stock for the year ending on 31st July 2021. This is a renewal of policy. Your policy would have expired on 31st of July. So you have to renew the policy by immediately making the premium payment. So you renewed the policy on 1st August 2020. The premium is different. Premium has increased. It is increased to 36,000 now. So you paid the premium of 36,000. Period is again 1 year, ending on 31st July 2021. Similarly, the another policy of machinery was due to expire on 31st October 2020. It was 1 year policy. So 1st November 2020, you have renewed that policy and you have paid the premium of 54,000. So you have passed the entry insurance premium account debit to HDFC Bank account 54,000 rupees. This policy is also for 1 year and the period will be extended till 31st October 2021. Have you understood these two entries, 36,000 and 54,000?
Yes.
Okay. Now you are going to tell me what happens on 31st of March. What should we do on 31st March? I need an answer from your side now. This is the insurance premium account.
Passing entry of prepaid insurance.
How much should be that?
12,000.
12,000 for 12,000 for
Next.
no, which policy?
12,000 for
stock or machinery?
stock.
Stock or
For
machinery?
stock, 1,000.
For stock you are saying 12,000. Okay, and for machinery? How much would it be for machinery?
$18,000 for
18,000. Any more answers? Is it 18,000?
31,500.
31,500. Any more answers? What about others? What are the answers from others? Yes, anybody else? So 12,000 and 31,500 is correct. It's the same period, 4 months and 7 months, isn't it? If you see the period, the periods are similar, 4 months and 7 months. So 4 months proportionate period, if you calculate for stock, it comes to 12,000, and 7 months for machinery, if you carry forward, it is 31,500 rupees. So these amounts will be debited to prepaid insurance account. So in prepaid insurance, if you see, you will have two more entries here. 31st March 21, 2 insurance premium for stocks 12,000, 2 insurance premium for machinery 31,500. Your closing balance is 43,500, which is carried forward to the next year. Insurance account is closed by carrying forward the balance of 43,500 to the next. Whereas insurance account, what should we do? We have to find out what is the closing balance, and that will be transferred to profit and loss account. So end of the year, when you balance the account, you will have the balance of 82,500 in insurance premium account, and that will be transferred to profit and loss account. Am I clear to you about these two accounts? Yes, any doubts, any more clarity required on any of the aspects of two accounts that we discussed today? One was debtor, another was creditor, and now we have the expenditure account and prepaid insurance account also. Any doubt, any clarity required on any of this?
So that how to calculate discount, please explain again.
Which one? The earlier sum?
Yes.
Okay, okay. See, this discount is equal to, I'll write the calculation here, 16,375, okay, divided by invoice value is 6,55,000, okay, multiplied by 100. This is how you are supposed to calculate the amount of discount. Percentage of discount, not amount of discount. Amount discount is 16,375 divided by 6,55,000, the original purchase bill, multiplied by 100. You can calculate now and tell me whether it is coming to 2.5% or not.
$2.5 answer.
2.5, no? Yes, correct. 2.5% is a percentage of discount. Any other difficulty in today's discussion? Yes. Remaining accounts, premium account, prepaid insurance account. Any other clarity required in any of these ledgers? Okay. So then I'll do one thing. I will stop recording. If any other queries are there, I'll still address them. Just a moment. Let me stop recording now.